What's going on, guys? Back with another late night discussion. Happy Mother's Day. Then in this discussion here, I'm going to talk about I forgave, but I haven't forgotten. You know, some of us have parents that, you know, they didn't thoroughly do their job the way it was supposed to be done. And you got to give people what they deserve. If you have a parent that didn't do their best, you got to call it what it is. And you got a lot of brothers, especially in our culture, we like to give credit when credit is not due. If a parent hasn't done the best that they can do, they don't deserve to be celebrated. They don't deserve a whole bunch of rewards. You got to call a spade a spade. You got to call things as they are. We know today's Mother's Day, but not all of us have the best mothers. Not all of us have the best mothers. Some of our mothers didn't do the best that they could do, and that's just being real. Some of our mothers lied to us. Some of our mothers misled us. Some of our mothers, they just didn't do their job to the best of their ability as a parent. And sometimes I feel people don't understand the definition of parent. Parent is telling you the truth about life, setting you up for success, putting you in a position to win, giving you wisdom and knowledge and direction. Parenting is not giving you a plate of food and putting you in front of a TV or giving you an iPad and just letting you go in the other room and just do whatever the hell ever. Being a parent is telling you what you're going to need to be equipped for this world. That's what being a parent is all about. And a lot of us, we didn't have mothers that gave us that wisdom, you know. Um, some of us were lucky enough to have fathers who were smart and educated or whatnot, who told us the real about life and how things really is out here in this world. But I'm gonna keep the spotlight on mothers because we know today is Mother's Day. And just because you may love your mother, some of us may not be fortunate enough to have our mothers with us for Mother's Day. I love my mother, but you got to recognize when somebody screwed you over, and you can't excuse that, and that's the mindset that I have. I forgive, but I haven't forgotten. And even if, and I say this, even if you was in a good financial position, you're not going to go over and beyond for somebody who doesn't deserve it. Why would you celebrate and go over and beyond for a parent that didn't do the best that they could do? There are some men who celebrate their mothers because they have mothers that really showed them love. They had mothers that went over and beyond. They had mothers that went beyond the call of duty to ensure that they became a success. So, you can understand why some men will, give their mothers, big lump sums of money or take their mother to a lavish restaurant, or buy their mother a Louis Vuitton bag because they had astounding mothers. They had mothers that were great. They really did their job as a parent. But for somebody who didn't do their job to the best of their ability, for somebody who lied to you, tried to mislead you, wasn't totally honest about things. People, mothers like that, you can love them. You got some men that hate their mother. You can love your mother, but you gotta realize when somebody uh did you wrong, and you can't let that slide. When somebody screwed you over, you know and that's why my mentality is the way it is. I forgive, but I haven't forgotten. And I will never go over and beyond for somebody who hasn't been the best parent that they can be. It makes no sense to do that. Why would you reward somebody and celebrate somebody who hasn't done their job to the best of their ability? It makes no sense. you know um you got a lot of mothers, they try to, pussify their sons, indoctrinating them with all that religion, trying to make them some old preacher boy and lying to them and not telling them the truth about life. You got a lot of mothers that do that to their sons, you know, and, if, good thing I had some people that was in my corner, my grandparents, my father, that, you know, I had some people that, had some wisdom to give. But it's sad how you got a lot of mothers, they openly try to mislead their sons. They openly try to mislead their sons, lying to them, you know. This is why, fathers need to be in the picture, because a lot of mothers, they love to mislead their sons and lie to them. And I don't, I know there are some men out there who probably hate their mothers, or they resent their mothers or whatever, and that's understandable, because some men have really been hurt and done wrong by their mothers, you know. Um, One thing I had to learn in my life is that you may forgive people for what they've done, but you never forget somebody that effed you over. You never forget what a person has done. And when you become, when you get your stuff in order, you just know how to deal with them, you know, because, I love my mother, even though she, you know, didn't give me the best of guidance, you know, but I haven't forgotten. And one thing I had to learn as a man, you never excuse a person for their bad behavior, because you're not a man when you do that. That's like if somebody spit in your face. You don't excuse bad behavior. You don't excuse that. And that's why I say, just because you forgive a person, it don't mean you've forgotten what they done to you. You keep account in your mind of the dirty things that were done, the lies, the dishonesty, you know, the nonchalant attitude that certain mothers have, with their sons. They see you at a disadvantage, but they act nonchalant, like they not concerned, or like they just don't care. You remember that, and you take a mental note of that, and you keep that in your mind, you know, because you got to call a spade a spade. And, I know today's Mother's Day, but every man can't say that he had an outstanding mother. Every man can't say that he had a mother that went over and beyond, you know. Every man can't say that, you know. And a lot of guys, I'm sure they can relate to, like, they didn't, some dudes had terrible mothers, you know. And some guys like myself, they didn't have the worst mother, but they definitely didn't have the best mom either. And I'm sure a lot of guys can relate to that. You may have not have had the worst mother, but you daggone sure didn't have the best one either. But I just wanted to shine light on this because a lot of mothers, they don't really care about their son's feelings or their son's hardships. A lot of mothers just don't care, and they're just emotionally unavailable when it comes to their sons. You got mothers like that, and I just wanted to shine a light on the fact that all mothers don't need to be celebrated, because everybody didn't have the best mom, you know and that's why I say always keep in your mind, you can love your mother, but you just don't never forget what was done to you. And that's how I am. I don't believe in harboring hatred and resentment towards people, but you don't forget certain things that was said and certain things that was done. you know but that's been tonight's discussion. You guys have a good night, and we'll be talking soon. Have a good one.